What's up, crew? It's Marshall, you guys and girls, raw. And I appreciate you coming along for another one of these boxing adventures. Wait for me to personally say goodbye to the knife and to give everyone a more in-depth or in detail, not only description of the knife, but my thoughts and or philosophies that went into my efforts. Today up on the goodbye block is number 176 LMK. This was a custom build that was to mirror 175 in everything except for obviously the profile, the same handles, same hardware, all that good stuff. So, and of course was backed out of. I put this up for availability after I started falling in love with this design, carrying EDC in the knife. Testing out the sheath, because this is the first time I have ever built an EDC cleaver or an ED cleaver. Right off the bat, this is in all the names that I drop will be in the description below, if not immediately, as soon as possible. So this is now for Scott. Information down below, and I put the knife out on Instagram, as I will probably do that continuing from now on for anyone that backs out. Any of the builds that become available, I'll give you advance notice, and then I'm going to put them out you know, through that venue. Easy for me, and I think it's extremely fair, because you can set up the you know, there's 3 dots, like the top corner, one way or the other of the screen. You can set up for the post notification, and as soon as my post goes up, it notifies you. So when I start dropping hints that this knife, as you see here, will be available, you can set up the post notification. And then if you don't want your phone blinging every time I post it on Instagram, you can turn it off. I think that's pretty fair. I think that's not only is fair, but it's extremely beneficial for you as the possible owner of one of the new LMKs. So back to the start of the show. 176 LMK, now going to Scott, is my very first EDC or ED cleaver in CPM S35VN that was 100% heat treated, tested for Rockwell. Ooh, get you away from that light. And tempered in shop. I'm extremely very proud of that. And it has a as full height as I could possibly get with a 14-inch wheel. 0 concave grind. This was a 0-0 grind that I ended up backing off just a little bit so I could get a good a secondary cut and bevel for the ease of Scott's use and stropping, for longevity of the ridiculously sharp edge that was I was able to achieve. The handles are the outstanding F40 carbon fiber from Nate over A&J Composites, formerly known as Ghost Carbon Fiber. Oh, I love the way this F40 came out. Dang. It looks so nice. I love it. Mechanical bond was achieved with the 1/8 inch or the 125 titanium pins, and the 1/4 inch or 250 titanium tubes from Jared at Tiger TI Metals. Well, again, I hope I got that right. I'm a knucklehead. And I got a little bit of there you go. The 060 black G10 liners are from Masecraft Supply Company, and the always outstanding engraving from my friend Seth and Brian Tangway. 176 L Marshall CPM S35VN. Some of the extra features that went into this knife were extensive. Of course, you guys and girls know how I like to roll my rock pattern. You've seen that. This is a little bit different, a little bit newer version. And I have the peak and the valley for your hold if you're going in a true saber grip. It gives you something to bite on in forward and reverse. Chest lever gives you that place of purchase to keep the knife solid in your hand. Of course, my hand's 2XL. If you're an XL, your hand will fit in there a lot better. But you see what I'm talking about. Gives you multiple ways of grasping this knife, or of course, stick your hands in. Now it gives you not only your pinky, but now this turns into a ring finger choil. You got my point. Then we rolled this same pattern, same style to the spine to give it that rock or flint pattern on the spine, give it that super aggressive look, and I love it. I think I nailed it. I personally think I did, and a lot of the other guys and girls that have laid their eyes and hands on this knife loved it. I was like, you know what, bro? I'm not going to build a first version of anything that doesn't have a swedge. So instead of having the blunt profile, I cut in another circular notch so that I could put a swedge. It counts, and I love it. I had to swedge it out. And of course, I followed that swedge. I ran it down the front of the blade just a little bit to knock that profile off just a little bit and run it down. Yeah, there you go. I had to convert. This was first done on the 14-inch wheel before. I had the mishap of couching my wheel, so I then had to bevel the wheel. This has a converted primary plunge line. Boom. As you can see, converted the plunge line from the, show you what, number 51, the standard linear plunge line to the swooping or the circular plunge line now. There you go. All right, guys and girls. You know how we roll. Let's cut something. So, we got, we'll go over the other logistics in a minute. Let's get now I gotta tell you, I probably should have practiced, but I had so much fun cutting with this thing already. And if you guys and girls aren't a member of my Instagram crew, first of all, you're doing yourself a disservice, because it is the easiest way for me to to bring you guys and girls along with mass visual. It by far the most glitch-free, the funnest, and really the most positive place that I've ever encountered. So you see that I cut the dang paper towel a little bit too small, but we'll figure it out. you guys and girls know about the curly Q mayhem, and you've seen this, the lever actually getting cut up. It was all done on Instagram. This is the On Target. Now, again, an outstanding publication that, if you guys girls don't know, highly recommend. Also, if you know, you're looking to get into, I said it before, with the local law enforcement or your local EMTs, firefighters, stuff like that, you can get it for them, their shop, their base, excuse me, their shop. Get it at your local gun shops, or you could even get it for your local shooting ranges if they have clubhouses, your gun clubs. Highly recommend you look into this. It's as easy as sending them an email. And you can see the paper is easy see-through paper. You can see what am I doing? I can see through it. I can see the guy right through the dang paper. See him? There you go. Block out the light. That's him on the other side. So that's just standard paper. There you go. You guys girls already know this thing just edge control, baby. Edge control. A couple curly cues. But I was like, you know, I wonder how I'm going to kind of tackle hot for Scott out on this thing. I think he doesn't have a tip. Might as well try it on film. I don't know. What do you think? I love being able to make stuff incredibly sharp. I don't know. I'm pretty impressed. So. Oh man, this. I don't know if I cut a paper towel already, did I? Oh, if I did, we'll save it. Put that over here. Put this in the sheath for now. We'll get that out in a minute. But go over the logistics as we're accustomed to doing. Huge thank you to Paul over Serene Madness. If you guys girls don't know about Paul, another guy you're doing yourself a disfavor for, he provided me, put the effort in to get these information cards. My friend, owner of that knife, came over and had a sharpening session today for a few of his law enforcement friends. Appreciate you guys. Information card. Anytime you need me for any reason, Scott, please give me a call or text. And of course, the COP, Certificate of Purchase. This knife is an EDCleaver, or an EDC cleaver, however you guys want, but it's an EDCleaver. Steel is the CPM S35VN. Again, phenomenal, outstanding steel from Pete and Aldo Bruno over at New Jersey Steel Bearing. Huge respect to an outstanding family business with superb customer service. Model is the LMK-EDCleaver. Today's date is the 12th of November, 2015. 176 the number. Lloyd Marshall's the maker. The asterisk as you see, is for my first, because it is my very first EDC cleaver. I am, we'll go back for a second, but on that. But on my very first EDC cleaver, and you guys and girls know, I got into this because I love Tontos. When I was first training in the edged arts and martial arts in general, the Tonto, is what I kind of fell in love with because of the lore of it was the first kind of true bushcraft knife. Everyone's getting their panties in a bunch over that, Before you understand that, and I'll lit the fuse on the tampon there. Let me explain. The samurai had their long sword, their short sword, and their knife. Their swords were meant for killing. That's it. The knife, yes, there may be somewhere in historical that you can find an annotation of it being used as an offensive weapon. But the only time it really killed was in ceremonial use. So your swords weren't removed from sheath unless you were in defense or offense. Their knives were used for everything: food prep, fire prep, camp prep. So it was, in theory, the first bushcraft knife. That's what I mean by that. And I grew in love, to love the knife. I loved the design. I loved the style. I loved how the American hybrid had the increased piercing capability. And then when I started, I wanted to merge the American Tonto, which the cutting edge was, not well. It didn't do its job well. With the Samurai, which the cutting edge did extremely well. So I mirrored the two, and that's how I came up with my first knife back in 2012. So, I love that. I love the Tonto. This thing grew on me pretty dang quick. And I thought, not having an edge, not having a tip, I'm like, it's on a limit and prohibit me from doing so many different things. It really doesn't. You can work around just about everything if you have enough imagination and skill set. Skill set's big, but you have to also be able to think outside the box. And I kind of do that well. If you guys and girls have been with me long enough, everyone's going, yep, that's a fact. So, back to the story. I fell in love with the knife, and Mama C's like, Big Daddy, you got to put that up. You're going to keep that. I'm like, yeah, Mama did. You guys, girls, huge support, huge outpouring of support. Thank you very much. Less than an hour, bang, gone. So, a couple of the benefits that are going with this. Of course, Rusty Rags Ultimate Knife Care Kit, holding the Tackle Hot and the information cards. Rusty Rags Ultimate Knife Care Kit, outstanding protection for your knife. And I'm also sending with this my Made in USA tech lock, large tech lock, and I'm going to put with that 3 of the hardware upgrade. These are my fasteners, my brass fasteners that are made actually right down, 5 or 6 streets over. I can't remember. A quarter mile, half mile away, a mile, call it, away from me. And upgraded fastener and an upgraded screw. I'm going to provide 3 of those with the tech lock. And other than that, you'll put those in there. You guys don't have to see me put those in because my fingers aren't working correctly. I had a heavy shoulder day. Other than that, let's go ahead and say goodbye the right way. It's raining, so I think this knife has seen a lot of good quality pictures on my Instagram. So the next picture you guys will see if you are following me or on Instagram, it's probably going to be this wrapped up, bagged and tagged. ready to go. I'm going to get her out because I believe Scott deserves it. Yeah, wipe the knife down. Just because I can be overcautious. In no way, shape, or form does it need it, but need's not an option. Wipe everything. Love this knife. Last time this knife comes out of the sheath by my hands. What do you think, guys and girls? Is that awesome? The sheath actually was something that gave me a little bit more of a difficult time because I'm used to the you know, the tip where you can angle in and out with your draw. I had to figure out a different method, so I had to alleviate the top screw, which is, or excuse me, top eyelet that is usually there, so that when you draw the knife out, you can actually draw it through here to make a good quality draw. So when you're putting the knife in the sheath, straight in, straight out, as best as possible. And you, I can tell you I had that first fastener in there. Didn't last very long when you draw the, when I drew this hard a few times, that fastener got cut in half. So we had to modify the sheath. That's why it took me a little bit longer. Now that's the last time this knife comes out of the sheath by my hand. Wipe the sheath down, wipe the static cord down. Remember, the static cord is set up so that it has a shorter throw, because I did test this out. The shorter throw, if you do want to make it so that you can lash the system on and off your belt with the knife engaged safely in sheath, all you have to do is undo this one overhand knot here, like so, and it'll give you the extra length that you need to make it over the knife while engaged in sheath. Wipe that down. For now, everyone, be blessed. Thank you so much for your time. What do you think? That's my first sack of the hot cut with a non-tipped knife. Pretty happy. Thank you for giving me 23 minutes of your life. For now, everyone, have an absolutely phenomenal week, because you deserve it. Out.